Published, 11:56 Eastern Standard Time, the 27th of January 2018. Updated, 12:59 Eastern Standard Time, the 27th of January 2018. West Ham went out of the FA Cup in disgrace after Arthur Masuaku was sent off for spitting in their humbling fourth-round defeat at Wigan Athletic. Will Griggs scored twice for the brilliant League One leaders to claim their second top-flight scalp in consecutive rounds in a performance that made serious light of the 34-place gap between these sides in the league ladder. West Ham's performance was woeful, but worse was the behaviour of their French wing-back, Masuaku, dismissed for spitting at Nick Powell as the visitors unravelled. Arthur Masuaku capped off an extremely disappointing day for West Ham with his red card for spitting. Masuaku was caught spitting at opposition midfielder Nick Powell, which saw him sent off by referee Chris Kavanagh. The Hammers midfielder was dismissed in the second half to leave his teammates lumbering towards an FA Cup exit. Wigan forward Will Griggs celebrates giving the home side the lead in the first half at the DW Stadium on Saturday. The Irishman rose above West Ham defender Rhys Burke before heading the ball past goalkeeper Joe Hart. Hart was left stranded by Griggs' powerful header as the Premier League side were stunned early on in the tie. West Ham were outplayed by the League One hosts and finished the tie with 10 men after Masuaku was dismissed. Wigan Athletic 4-4-1-1, Walton 6.5, Burn 8, Dunkley 7, Burn 8.5, Elder 7.5, James 86 minutes, Massey 7, Colcliffe 76, Power 7, Morsey 7.5, Jacobs 7, Powell 7.5, Grigg 8, Roberts 88, subs not used Jones, Perkins, Bruce, Fulton. Booked, Colcliffe. Goal, Grigg 7, 62 pen. Manager, Paul Cook 7.5. West Ham 4-4-2, Hart 6, Zabaleta 5, Mario 46, 6, Burke 5, Ogbonna 5.5, Cresswell 5, Byram 4, Obiang 5, Oxford 36, 5.5, Cullen 5, Masuaku 2, Martinez 4, Haksabanovic 80, Hernandez 4, subs not used Adrian, Collins, Quina, Diangana. Booked, Ogbonna. Sent off, Masuaku 49, Manager, David Moyes 5, Referee, Chris Kavanagh 7, Man of the Match, Dan Burn.
Attendance, RGZ.
West Ham had £16 million striker Javier Hernandez up front, paired with Antonio Martinez, and yet the Latics fullbacks were piling forward right from kickoff. Sam Byram and Masuaku, defenders by trade operating on the Hammers' wings, found themselves pinned back and unable to provide support. With that, Wigan had control and West Ham were quick to crack. 7 minutes were on the clock when Nathan Byrne, forward from right back, was given time and space to aim a cross from deep in Griggs' direction. His ball was fantastic, inch-perfect, arching over the defenders' heads to the waiting number 9 at the back post where Griggs' header flashed past a flapping Joe Hart and into the corner. Griggs celebrates his 5th goal of the competition and 9th in all competitions for Wigan so far this season. Wigan boss Paul Cook gives his side the thumbs up after they get off to a flying start against their Premier League opponents. Both sides and supporters observe a minute's applause in honour of the late Jimmy Armfield. Prior to kick-off, Hammers midfielder Pedro Obiang receives treatment on the pitch before he is subsequently substituted. The Hammers star is unable to walk off the DW pitch and needs a stretcher to be ejected from the game. Nick Powell also comes close for Cook's side, but his effort is denied by Hart, with the Hammers struggling to impact the game. Cheyenne Dunkley thought he had scored for the home side, but his diving header was given offside. Wigan could have had another moments later, when Che Dunkley bundled in a max power free kick, only to be thwarted by the offside flag. As the West Ham end of the ground, packed with 4,500 travelling fans, got restless, their hosts continued to grow in confidence. Nick Powell's twinkle toes made him look like a player too good to play for the Hammers, never mind in League One. The former Manchester United man was at the heart of most of Wigan's best stuff, constantly playing cute passes in the final third while also firing one shot over before another was bobbled towards Hart. At the same time, West Ham's efforts were being summed up by Hernandez's regular frustrated tumbles to the turf as any efforts at link-up play failed. A miserable half for the visitors was compounded when Pedro Obiang had to be taken off on a stretcher, an injury sustained under the challenge of Power looking serious. The Spaniard is their 12th first-team player out injured, as it stands. Burke is beaten in an aerial duel by Wigan's Dan Burn as the Latics head into half-time with a surprise lead. Max Power puts a hard challenge on opposition midfielder Pedro Obiang, who goes down injured in the second half. Masuaku leaves the field after being dismissed by referee Chris Kavanagh after just 3 minutes of the second half. David Moyes rages at his Hammers side and will be feeling the pressure after an unexpected FA Cup exit. They offered some sort of rally at least. Josh Cullen's corner causing havoc in the 6-yard box, and then Byram breaking forward to set up a shot for Hernandez, blocked by Sam Morsy. Those efforts were not good enough, though. Inter Milan loanee João Mario was David Moyes' solution of choice. Signed up this week, the Brazilian winger replaced Pablo Zabaleta at the break. Moyes had not planned for Masuaku's moment of madness though. Just 4 minutes after half-time, the Frenchman was preparing to take a throw-in when he reacted to an altercation with Powell by spitting at his opponent as he walked away. Referee Christopher Kavanagh was alerted to the incident and dismissed Masuaku before Powell followed the departing player to the halfway line, fuming. A mandatory 6-match ban will follow for the West Ham man. The DW Stadium was still reeling from that fallout when Griggs scored the second. This time he chased down a ball into the penalty area, flicked it up and onto the hand of former Latics loanee Rhys Burke, well spotted by the linesman. Griggs stepped up to slot the penalty down the middle and, with 2 goals, certainly justified his famous "on fire" chant. The only thing drowning that out was calls of "sack the board" from the visitors section. Martinez being forced off with a head injury would have done little to lighten the mood. For West Ham, the only positive is that their focus is now entirely on staying in the Premier League, but they will have to do without Masuaku for the next 6 matches. Substitute Reece Oxford sees his effort fly wide of the Wigan goal with the visitors struggling to create opportunities. Griggs scores his second of the game from the penalty spot to put the result beyond all doubt for his teammates. West Ham's Cup goalkeeper Hart sees his World Cup hopes take a blow after a sorry Hammers display. Hart gifts his shirt to one hopeful fan as he leaves the DW Stadium disappointed. On Saturday afternoon, Wigan celebrate their well-earned victory as the former FA Cup winners continue their march to Wembley.